Yo, what's poppin', guys? Today we got another Unchained Musketeer Fiendsmith video for you guys. It's been so much fun to play. Normally I'm kind of nervous going second if I'm not going to queue in as something like Tempai, I guess, or Neuron with all those board breakers. But every time I play this deck and I go second, it just feels so playable. Like you're breaking the decks with the engine. It's really fun, especially the Musketeer stuff. There's so much consistency and there's so much power on the max. A lot of really nice interactions here. Going over the deck list, it's pretty much the exact same thing as last time. I did craft one Link into the Reigns to try it out, but I haven't actually ever drawn it yet so far. Right now it's just a cope thrust payoff here. For my non-engine, I'm on a lot of 2-ofs because I only have 2 of this. And I don't want to draw into the hard ones, Talents or Thrust, because I'm on like only 44 cards. Droplets is just too nutty though, so I'm going to be running 3 of those, and of course the Master Duel tax here. I don't really like Call By for going second. It can be kind of nice, I guess, but it's really a lot better going first. Or just having it as like a payoff card if you're going first, which isn't our goal. So that's why I'm not actually playing that. For the extra deck, I did make one change. I cut 1 Yama for a Chaos Angel. This came up a few times, and I decided I want to try this out, and this was the cut I just felt like going with. There are lines that do use double Yama. It is good for follow-up, so you could definitely still run 2 of these. What else you could do is run 2 Sequence, because when you do the line where you go Yama into Sequence, then you can dodge Imperm on Sequence with Sharvara that you search off the Yama. But if your opponent's smart, they would preemptively Imperm the Sequence, and then you would need to link into a second copy. So you could also be going for something like that. Maybe you cut the Appaloosa for it. I don't know. Would have to try out. Maybe I'll grind this out a bit more this season. And yeah, I have 4 replays for you. Hope you guys enjoy. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see more of this deck or which other decks you'd like to see. And maybe you have something to help me improve this deck as well. All right, enjoy. Alrighty, for our first replay, you can see we win the coin flip, we go second, we show no fear, and our hand is pretty okay for going second. Honestly, we have a hand trap breaker, we got some engine as well, and we're playing against like Tenpai Horus Galaxy stuff. I have no clue. I had to look at their deck after this. Yeah, so they're going first, and they're just gonna do a bunch of Horus stuff. So we're probably just gonna hit the rank 8 because hitting these guys does nothing, and it's a Drag Luxion. I'm not going to let that resolve. That gets them an add. It gets to go into another Xyz as well. And it's gives a bunch of advantage. Seems like a pretty decent choke point. They don't seem to have a normal summon here as well, so they're going to pass on this. Now, we're going to start off by tracked pitching the droplets. We have 2 of it. Now, on the one hand, this could telegraph that we are playing droplets. Maybe they expect us to have another droplet since we pitched this. Maybe they think, oh, now we no longer have the droplets because we didn't deem it necessary against this board anyways. So we're going to go for Starfire, go into max. And yeah, we're expecting maybe have like an Imperm or something. So they actually have Veiler in hand. Now we can use the droplets to dodge this. Negating the Drag Luxion does essentially nothing, but we're using this so we get to dodge the Veiler here. Now if they had Call By, this would be very terrible for us. This is what this play loses to. Fortunately, they don't have it, so we are fine here. We just summon out 3 guys, and now we just have to play through 1 unknown back row. And I'm getting vibes like it could be an Imperm, because they didn't Called By. They have an interaction that's like not many cards it could be, realistically speaking. So we're going to clear his body here, and now instead of going straight for the Sequence, we're actually going to go ahead and make a Yama first. And the point of this is that the Yama gets to add a Sharvara, which now when we bring back this dude and go into our Sequence here, I'm gonna go ahead and activate it, and now they Imperm it. Now we can chain the Sharvara, and that's actually going to move the Sequence off the field to actually dodge the Imperm. Now, funnily enough, you could actually use the Sequence as material now and shuffle it back, but that would not let you equip into like a Desiree if that's the line you're going for. Another thing to note if they saw this coming because they know I have Shavara in hand, they should know I can dodge Imperm. They can preemptively Imperm. If you play the second sequence, you can then link them both off and just do it again. It's similar to when people Imperm Isolde on her first effect. You just make a second one to use the strong effect that you want to as well. Now, there was a time where I was splashing Unicorn and everything because it's so broken. It's especially good into like the Fiendsmith stuff. But I ran into the problem that using the Wraithoth to search for the Unicorn actually loses to Droll. So that's kind of what's going to happen here. Now, we only have one push so far. I'm hoping we draw into a monster, which we fortunately do. So we're going to go ahead and just Imperm this. We don't want to lose all of our stuff off the Fiendsmith, right? Off the Unicorn, banishing the Fiendsmith stuff from the extra deck. We're going to go for the token here. Sanct is just an alternative track, more or less, for the stack. Now, this does lock you into attacking with only Fiends. That's important to know, especially since we are going second. Now, for some reason, he uses this. This is really awkward. So here there's the decision making. I'm assuming he probably has an Imperm here. Now, if I don't thrust, I might be able to bait it out by using Engraver to send the Unicorn. Since he doesn't know if I have like other plays or not, maybe he thinks I don't. But it's a very, very bad Imperm. I wouldn't expect anyone to actually use this. And then it turns off thrust from getting like a nice engine piece or something, right? So that's not good. And it doesn't actually force the Imperm. So he's going to use on something anyways. I was thinking maybe because he used this and played into Talons for some reason. Maybe he just griefs. But yeah, so we're going to grab Tract for the Starfire. Pitch the Imperm. I don't think I like need Ash or whatever, but I'm thinking Ash is probably just better to have than the Imperm here. Now, of course, Max is going to get negated here. Now, unfortunately, if we had one more body, we could pop off here. But instead, I'm going to go for Yama. Now, we'll bring back this dude. Now we can make the sequence. And I only want to search for the Shavara. I don't think he's going to have like the negate or anything, but I get to pop the sequence here. So it's in the graveyard now. And then I decide to actually use the Yama to put him back on field. Now I get to swing for a lot of damage. And now since I have an Unchained Soul plus an extra monster on the field, I get to make the blue dog, which then sets follow-up. And now sequences in the grave to equip it. So I get like more value off the bodies. Now I don't have a Yama in grave, so I couldn't go for the pop, unfortunately. But I do get follow-up. And it turns out they're on Voiceless Voice. Now, this would normally be a good Desiree target here. Because it turns off the targeting protection, which is relevant for the dog and for the SP I'll be making with it. And it turns off the ad, so that's pretty good. But if they have a board breaker such as like Talons or something, this is my only way of interacting with it. So I feel confident beating whatever they have without using the Desiree, so I can keep it for a board breaker because that's what I'm going to lose to. I do kind of get punished by this, but I still feel totally fine here. Because I still have Desiree to negate something later on, if I really have to. Or I can keep it to, like, if they have Talons or something, I'm kind of cooked, right? So I just want to play around that. Or like maybe they have a Raigeki or something, right? So when he uses this effect, of course, I'm going to go ahead and make the SP. Now we are going to just get rid of the barrier here. Do the targeting protection. Why not? I would have hit the ritual, but there's two of them in the graveyard, so it doesn't matter. Do note that Prayers does have a graveyard effect as well, so there is definitely value in... Wait a minute, why didn't he use this? Face of Blight, ritual monster you control uses an opponent's card effect. I guess it doesn't count as a card effect because it's like a summon mechanic. Yeah, awkward. Maybe we should have hit that though. I don't know. So he's gonna go ahead and play something. He was thinking for a while here, but I could just check whatever it is with Desiree. And now I realize that this doesn't actually do anything. So I'm just gonna hold Desiree in case last card is a breaker. We can go ahead and get some follow-up here. Next turn, Shavara is also gonna float into another trap as well. Very convenient. And we draw Musket, which is great. Not like we need it though, since we can go for the Anguish here. Chain all this stuff. We're gonna go ahead and just negate this. Might as well negate the low while we're at it as well. There's only one unknown card left in hand, and I don't think it can stop me from doing anything at all, realistically. So we're going to go ahead and use Anguish. You could have Teravis, I guess, but I still have like the Desiree body, plus I have a normal summon. I could like link this off or whatever, right? And then I could probably still get, he's like dead because he's at 2k life points. So we just win this one as well. Very fun game. All right, again, we're going second here. I'm going to activate Voiceless in standby phase. Doesn't really like, there's no way like inherent summon, right? But it like kind of plays around talents, right? If I like deem that they're going to play into it again or something, I can always chain the second one. I don't guess there's really a reason. There's a reason to use Maxi in standby phase for like inherent summons, but you could probably just hold Voiceless. I also don't want to use both at the same time because it hard loses to called by. So using one early before I can get punished is pretty fine. Now we're going to imperm this guy. I never read these cards in my life before, but this guy says when he's normal special summoned, you can just add a dude. So that's not going to happen. And especially since you can activate Metalmorph traps a turn they were set is now also turned off. I think this is a very good target. Might not be. Maybe I'm an idiot, but this looks like prime imperm material to me. Now they have the extender dude, and you can see they add whatever time engine is. If a monster controls destroy, like what does this do? It does nothing at all. Why would you ever set this? Why wouldn't you just go for the max Metalmorph here, which gives like protection from targeting and destruction and gets like summon the negate guy? And the obvious reason is because the set card that they set right here is just that. So even if they didn't fire it off here, which gives me a draw of Voiceless luckily, you should be expecting this in this game state. Now the other card is just dead. I don't really care about this, but this thing can't be targeted by monsters or spells. So that means Engraver can't actually clear it. And even if I negate it with droplets, which still works, the protection comes from the back row. So we're going to have to go look for a different line for it. I'm going to go ahead and make the max. It's going to give me a bunch of bodies. I love this card, man. It's so good. And you only need to run one copy because you can keep recycling it. Go for the Requiem. It's going to tag out for the Engraver, of course, here. And we can't use this to send the dude. So we're going to go ahead and just make the sequence already to get the dude in the grave. And now we equip the Requiem here. Now, this might seem like it doesn't do anything, but he hasn't been using his negate here. And the obvious choke point here is sequence. So he is most definitely going to negate the sequence here. So I prefer to have the Requiem equipped since it has no other value for me to send off of the droplets. So I just get to use droplets for free here. That's going to be exactly what happens. Uses the negate. We get the droplets, our equipped card to negate him. Now we have our Desiree. And since we used it in the Calamity's column, we get to revive a guy. Now we get to use Thrust and Starfire's column to bring back this guy. Now we get to use Talons in his column to add another card while we're taking his guy, and we can just win here for free. I'm just getting the Requiem into grave, and yeah, it's over. Yippee! All right, for our final game, we're gonna be playing against Brick Eyes, which you can tell by them setting 2 cards and passing. So of course they're gonna have Max C, right? Like what else would they have? Let's be honest. And they're gonna hold it for main phase, which means that my Talents is live if I grab that off of Thrust. Of course, we're going to go ahead and negate this with Ash Blossom, and they have the Called by the Grave. So that's very cringe. We're going to chain the Shavara here, so we can at least summon this out before the Max C. And True Light's going to activate to set some follow-up here. I guess you get it for free, so he doesn't really want to draw into it off of his Max C if I do opt to commit. I'll spoil this a little bit, and we're going to activate in the graveyard our Sarama, get a Shayama. This gives me a lot of damage. It gets the brick out of the deck, and we're going to set a card with Thrust. I would set an Unchained trap here to float and keep going, but I don't really see a super trivial line to lethal without summoning like 4 or 5 more times, which would like super lose to him drawing into Nib, drawing into Valor, which we know they're running because it's Blue Eyes. So instead, I'm going to just grab a Tract. I do run 3 of them. Now I get it in the grave for the graveyard effect. Maybe I could have also gone like Sanct or something. I was thinking this might have benefit. I guess it's a starter, but yeah. Now we're gonna go for the Caesar here. Set these 2 cards and pass our turn, and they're gonna have the Maiden, which gets back the the True Light I destroyed, which I was hoping I could clear for the follow-up. They pitched a nib, so it's a good thing I didn't overextend here because I would have died. And now we remember that they have a Veiler in hand as disruption on our turn. We're going to go ahead and imperm the Sage. Might have been better to just hit the Link 1. It's probably better to just hit the Link 1 if we're being honest. We're going to go ahead and negate the effect of summon here. Then he's going to go and make the Link 1. Search for the field spell after we go ahead and grab us some follow-up here. He has a very nice Royal Rare here. I'm going to go ahead and activate this, send the Blue Eyes, and when he tries to revive it, I'm going to actually let it go, since I feel pretty confident with the droplets backing me up, and I would prefer to maybe hit something more important. Since he hasn't used this yet, I know he can just bring back the Blue Eyes anyways, so there's really nothing I can do about it. I'm going to go into the fusion guy. Now he brings back him. And since I'm at 28, he can't actually do much here. We use droplets in the damage step, sending away our follow-up. Does kind of suck, but we get to destroy his trap guy. And now when he decides to tag out in an attempt to beat over the Caesar, it turns out this card isn't actually once per turn, and I can go ahead and negate that, get rid of that as well. So that's very nice. Now, he is going to bring back a Maiden in defense position with the Synchromo that he happened to hard draw. And for turn, we find Engraver, which kind of would just want us to get him on the spot if it wasn't for that pesky Maxi, which is going to then... oh yeah, he can't bring back the Maiden because of the thing, whatever. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and extend into this. Remember, we do know that he has the Veiler. He's already preemptively hitting my Fiendsmith. Very unfortunate. Here on the Requiem, I always toggle off pass priority. Maybe they're idiots and activate the negate on it. And here he uses Veiler preemptively on Engraver. Maybe he was low on time or something. I don't know. I feel like you could just use it here, but I'm not even going to use the Engraver because we do have the secret effect of Shyama, getting rid of the Caesar here to then pop the Requiem and then one spell or trap card on the field, which is going to be the trap, which opens him up for a lethal line. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a comment down below if you want some more of these, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the algorithm and whatever. Yippee!